It's April 15th, and that equals taxes in Texas. The deadline here, 500 miles away. NASCAR on Fox welcomes you to just north of Dallas and Fort Worth, where over 200,000 fans will watch America's best drivers go 200 miles an hour. This track labeled Big and Bad could be the speed bump on the way to the chase for the Nextel Cup Championship. And it's at the Hollywood Hotel trackside at the Texas Motor Speedway, the Great American Speedway, with our Great American driver and crew chief, Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers. Hope you all enjoyed your Easter break. Nice to be back with you. And for the drivers, too, the first of 14 straight weekends of racing. What are we going to see today?
Well, I think today the guys say they're back to normal, so we'll see what that means. It's not always a good thing.
Normal?
Nothing normal, because a lot of these drivers right now, at least down to the bottom of the top 35, they're running scared now, Chris. Guys like Casey Kane, Casey Mears, they've got to get up on a wheel today.
All right, it was scary with the weather, too. The weather great today, sunny, high in the 60s, but Friday, tornadoes touched down nearby, creating heavy rains. Qualifying canceled. The top starters set by this year's owner points. That's why Jeff Gordon on the pole for today alongside Jeff Burton. Meanwhile, Michael Waltrip did not qualify for today's race, but that's the least of his problems. The two-time Daytona 500 winner charged with reckless driving and failure to report an accident that took place last Saturday morning at 2 a.m. Michael was not seriously injured in the one-car wreck. Later said he was embarrassed. I know NASCAR met with Michael. Of course, Darrell, he's your brother. Have you talked to him? Is he doing okay? And what's the future look like for him?
I just think what Michael's finally figuring out is it's difficult to be the owner and the driver. A driver has responsibilities. An owner has responsibilities. I think he's taken on too big a suitcase for one man to carry. And his organization's a little thin, and he realizes that, and that's where they've got to do some work back at the house.
They got to make some changes.
Back at the house.
They got to make some changes.
Meanwhile, people still talking about the race, the dramatic finish at Martinsville last weekend. That's where Hendrick teammates Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson finished first and second for the sixth time. Jimmy's won the last three showdowns, and these two, they make a great team, especially when it comes to that game, capture the flag.
I'm not going to wreck a guy to win a race.
He wants me to move him, so boss, you better give me the okay, because, that's always going to happen.
Well, I wanted to be on the bottom, and if you wanted the outside, there's plenty of room up.
14 to go, buddy. Go get that 48. Don't worry about that 5. If he's going to run me like that, he's giving me no choice. Get that win. Woo! What a race. All right, guys. Sorry. That was my hero. I just beat there. Might have him off, but I don't care. I've dreamed of beating that dude here on this track in a heads-up battle. Awesome job, boys. Awesome job.
All right, some compelling conversation joined trackside by both Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson together as they get ready for the race. Hey, I want you both to answer this question, but Jeff, we're going to let you go first this time. There was talk of disharmony after that finish in Martinsville. Is that accurate? Is everything cool?
No, not at all. You know what? When the heat of the moment is on, there aren't two more fierce competitors out there than me and Jimmy. And, the fact that I didn't wreck him showed, the respect that I have for him and for our teammates out there. And so, I know that Jimmy's going to race me hard. He didn't do anything wrong. He ran that race perfectly, and we didn't have the car to do it. I was more upset that we didn't win the race because I felt like we've had several cars capable of winning this year, and I was just mad that we didn't win. I wasn't mad at Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy J, it's DW. What was it like coming down there at the end of the race, racing your hero? I mean, I know what that felt like back in the day. What were you thinking?
I was thinking it was Jeff Gordon behind me, and I needed to bring my A game, and was able to do that. It really was a great event for Hendrick Motorsports, and fun for Jeff and I to race that hard. And I think what you saw in those highlights there was just a competitive spirit in both of us, and just good hard racing, good clean racing, which is very important in today's world where everybody wants to see crashes.
Hey, guys, I want to know about today. I mean, you both come in here. Jeff, you're leading the points. Jimmy, you're getting right back up there with him, and you got a great finishing record here. But neither one of you guys have gotten to victory lane. Can you change that today and keep that 5 in a row, going for Hendrick?
Well, I certainly hope so. I thought Jimmy was really strong yesterday, and we had the best car we've had here in a while. We've certainly got the track position. We've had cars capable of winning here in the past. It just hasn't been recently. So I'm hoping we can turn that around. And I feel like, when the 24 team came along at Hendrick Motorsports, it elevated everything up. When the 48 team came along, it elevated up to a whole nother level. And to be able to have teammates like Jimmy and Kyle and Casey to be able to share notes with, I think this is the best best year we've ever had of winning a race here at Texas.
Jimmy, can you do something with him, buddy? Can you get to victory lane?
I feel like we've got a great car. We had a great practice yesterday on the 1.5 mile tracks. We've been very strong. Today the sun came out, which I think is going to help Jeff and I out with driving this racetrack. We'll find an outside lane and have some fun today. So I really think this Los Monte Carlo is in great shape.
Jimmy, I know you and Jeff both do a lot with charity. We showed a couple of weeks ago your bowling tournament raised a lot of money. And Jeff, is it true that somebody has a chance now to win a Corvette from you?
It is. You know, we're going to raffle off a brand new, well, fairly brand new, a couple thousand miles on it right now, Chevy Corvette Z06. That was my own personal.
Jeff, turn around real quick. There's some annoying fan behind you.
Imagine that. That's a big surprise. I'm sure that won't be the last of that today either.
That's right. All right, thank you, all three of you even. Good to have you teammates out there running. Good luck to both of you.
Hey, go to jeffgordon.com or jeffgordonfoundation.org for more information on the Corvette.
Okay, appreciate that. Thanks, Jimmy.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, good luck on the Corvette. Tony Stewart doesn't get enough airtime. We'll hear from him later. Stick with us. This show just getting out of the gate from the Texas Motor Speedway. Our Fox Cowboys, a little drive and ride on the Texas Motor Speedway bump. They'll have the latest. They did not invite me once again. And who's this little puff of smoke in today's photo finish? And Jeff Foxworthy helps us decide if DW and Jeff are smarter than a fifth grader. And then later in the race, Dale Earnhardt Jr. makes the day of the lucky NASCAR fan. All that at a slick round of gas and go. Good to have you with us for NASCAR on Fox. Woo! Yeah, baby! Woo! Giddy up! NASCAR at Fox is sponsored by Goodyear, innovative technology to help you get there. By Chevy, the most wins in NASCAR history, an American revolution. And by Subway Restaurants. Subway, eat fresh.
Texas style. Jeff Burke, Terry Labonte, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dale Jarrett, Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman, Elliott Sadler, Greg Biffle, Carl Edwards, Casey Kane, Tony Stewart wins in Texas.
Take me back to Texas. I miss that Lone Star State. Take me back to Texas. Take me home.
All right, from Variety Pack, it's a variety track, 12 races, 12 different winners here in Texas. By the way, DFW is not your initials. Okay, that's the airplane. Right. So what do we got? Mark Martin racing again today after taking a couple of weeks off. He went from 1st to 15th in points. Anybody have a chance of repeating, Darrell?
I don't know. A lot of guys have a chance, but I kind of believe the streak will continue. There's just something about this racetrack, and the reason I think that is every time we come here, something different. They reconfigured the track a few times. They've worked on the bump this time. Seems like every time we come here, there's a little different idiosyncrasy about the track that plays into somebody's hands.
Well, when you take a look at the guys that haven't won here, like Gordon, like Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin, for example, and you take a guy like Tony Stewart, and he looked so good yesterday in practice. I think he's got the car to beat early on. But this racetrack is going to change totally because of the weather today.
And there are guys who need bounce-back performances who have had success here. Greg Biffle is one of them. Also, Casey Kane. Let's go to Krista Voda, who is standing by with Casey Kane. Krista?
Well, this is the kind of track that Casey Kane salivates over. Casey, you would love to defend your win, but you need points. So what happens if you're racing hard at the end? Do you have to give away the win to keep the points?
Well, I want to be there at the end. You know, we hopefully have a good car today. Our Dodge dealers, UAW Dodge Charger. We'll see how it goes. We've been up and down in practice. It's been tough to get a hold of. There's been a lot of wind and different weather. So today we're going to have one thing throughout the whole race, and we'll see where we end up. I'm looking forward to it, though. I enjoy Texas. It's always a lot of fun to be here racing here, and we'll just see what happens.
All right, this track has kind of been all or nothing for him, Chris. 2 top 2s, but 3 DNFs, so this will definitely be a story to follow.
All right, Feast or Famine, we'll watch for that today. Thanks, Krista. Jeff Burton, a guy up there in points who's had success here. How about him today, Darrell?
Well, he's got the best starting position he's had here since he won back in, what, 97?
Yep.
But it's a thinking man's race. And you got to believe that he's a thinking man, so we'll see how it works out for him. He's been running great.
You got to keep up with the changes.
That was his first Cup win. Speaking of thinking men, when I first mentioned to Jeff Hammond, are you smarter than a fifth grader, he took the Fifth Amendment. Then I explained, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader is the new smash hit TV show on Fox. And as the show's host, Jeff Foxworthy, has said, you might be a redneck if you can answer questions like DW and Jeff.
Hey, DW and Hammond, Jeff Foxworthy here to find out if you guys are smarter than a fifth grader. Driving 200 miles an hour 3 inches from a concrete wall is a snap compared to fifth grade science. So are you smarter than a fifth grader? All but one of the planets rotate the same direction as a NASCAR race, counterclockwise. Which planet rotates clockwise?
No. Venus in blue jeans, Mona Lisa with a ponytail.
Always singing stupid.
What do you? I bet you think it's Pluto. The answer is he don't have a clue. That's his answer.
No, I don't know what the answer is. I'll at least be honest about that. I don't know the answer.
Venus.
Okay.
Very good, DW. Sorry, Jeff. You are not smarter than a fifth grader.
I know something about astrology. I know my time born. I'm an Aquarian.
You folks at home can find out if you're smarter than a fifth grader Thursdays on Fox.
All right, I'm amazed you guys made it to the fifth grade.
An aquarium.
All right, thanks
An
for
aquarium. You
that.
stargazer, you.
Somehow we all feel a little smarter. Thanks for being a good sport. Next week we're going to bring in Sanjaya from American Idol to provide hair grooming tips for Larry Mack. All right, we'll be back in a moment.